Hi, Dick Betts. And what we're doing today, this is a recap to the last 8 articles that I wrote, reference to the different areas of the villages as far as retail and dining. And there's a map, which you're going to see here in a minute. I'm saving it as a PDF. If you would happen to want it, I'd be happy to send it to you. Just let me know. But in my article that'll be posted with this is all of the links right to all the different retail centers. So if you wanted to, you can pull that down and you can say, oh, okay, we're thinking about buying a house here. All right, you pop up a map, you go, oh, okay, it's here, between here and here. And then you can actually see what's in the different shopping areas. Many of you have contacted me about this whole process, and I think this will be helpful. I'm not a good map drawer, but hopefully I can explain it better. Again, you know, we're spoiled. When I met Michelle, she'd already lived in the villages for 6 years. So she pretty well set as to where she wanted to live because she was still working. She could get to work by golf cart. You know, we were used to real quick, you know, the convenience of shopping and things like that, which squares, you know, we have 2 of them just about equal distance away from us. So this is where we are, and we're happy where we are. And I want you to be happy where you are. Don't be a typical villager that moves 3 times. Yes, as a realtor, please do. But for your sake, I think you're better off to do your homework and decide what is the best area for you. So here is the explanation of the map. Here's the map that I told you I was going to build. I want to explain it before we get into the different locations. When I meet people who've never been here and I'm taking them on a tour, first thing I explain to them is the villages is kind of like a ladder. If you picture a ladder and the cross rungs, then this kind of makes sense. In this particular map, if you look at 301, which is on the left side, west side, you'll see Dallas, Oxford, Wildwood, Coleman. And then on the other side, you have 441, which would start up at, say, Summerfield, Lady Lake, Fruitland Park, down toward Leesburg. So that in the villages itself, then we have Buena Vista Boulevard, which is on the west side, and you have Morris, which is on the right side. And again, picture that being the outside of the ladder, and then your rungs are 42, starting at the north, 466, 466A, 44, and a turnpike. So that's your ladder. So if you are not here yet, never been here, but you're exploring, I know some of you reached out to me personally about you appreciate what I'm doing because you're trying to get a better visual as to the villages, then hopefully that ladder will help you. So here we go. At the top of the ladder, the first rung is Mulberry Plaza. That would be an area close to the VA, hospital, Costco's, a whole bunch up in there. And then the next rung down is 466, Southern Trace for sure, coming across real close to Lake Sumter Landing. Spanish Springs would be in the rung above, okay? And then next one down is 466A, which is Trailwinds, and the other side is Colony. The next rung down is where Brownwood is, the Paddock Square, the hotel, Grand Traverse, yeah, it's easy for you to say, and Lake Deaton on the other side. And then the next rung is the Turnpike, and that's where we get Magnolia Plaza, that's Eastport, Middleton, and there's more coming down there. They just announced a whole bunch of areas down there they're going to be building and opening and things sometime this 3rd and 4th quarter of next year. So this map will be outdated in no time at all as we continue. We're also going to talk more about the outside of the villages, you know, what's happening inside the bubble, what we call the villages, and what's happening outside, because what's happening outside also is a direct influence on retailers, because if they can build something where the villages are served, but at the same time looking at what's happening outside. And I'm going to talk more about that. All right, you've seen the map. Now let's talk about outside the bubble. Inside, we know what's going on with Eastport, Middleton, up and down as the ladder, as I described it. But outside, Summerfield is building a whole bunch of homes. Some of them are actually new rental homes, just north of 42. There's other apartments, houses going around. Lady Lake is exploding. There are, I don't know, thousands of houses are being built, 466. When you leave the villages over to 441, other side of 441, off of 441 corridor, we have apartment buildings being built, single family. So when people say, hey, how comes Costco got where they are, where Sam's, where BJ's? You got to remember, you know, if you have 1,000 houses built in the villages, there's a possibility of, you know, part-time residency, snowbirds, whatever. Also, you know, outside the villages, that same 1,000 houses can have 2.7 occupants in it year-round. Families, where are they going to shop? They're going to go use the same stores that people inside the villages use. So that's why you'll see the 441 corridor being so popular and so many businesses still there, and other ones will be there because they'll be servicing that. We come down to Fruitland Park. They just announced Fruitland Park between 466A and to the end out 441, a big development going in there. You're going to see more of that. You're going to see on the outside. Wildwood is the fastest growing city, I think, in the United States. I just read that. But again, yeah, thank you, villages. But guess what? It's also, they're building homes, family homes, right outside the villages. So when we start looking at our retail space and all that, you have to keep in mind that it's not just the 160,000 or so of us that live inside the villages. It's the other, I don't know, thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of people who live right outside the villages, who work in the villages or support a business in the region. So we're a metroplex. We're our own metroplex here. So now you start to get a feel for what's happening with retail. So that's it. Again, this is available if you need it. Until next time, see ya.